Is Alliance War worth it? I feel like this is a question that every veteran MCOC player has asked themselves at least once, if not on a continual basis. Like, is my time and effort and energy, the resources that I sink into Alliance Wars, is it actually worth it? Would I progress better in this game if I spent that time elsewhere? Would I have more fun if I spent that time elsewhere? Everyone asks themselves this question because war, it's one of those funny things where, you look at what you get out of it, and it is hard to justify. And yet, players who love this game, and especially players who love the idea of being competitive in this game, we're drawn to Alliance Wars because currently that's all we have. There's going to be a solo competitive mode added to the game soon, and I'm really curious how that's going to fit in just the not into the fit in the game, but also fit into how players approach the game, I guess. And of course, I'm bringing all this up because we just got hit with an Alliance War reward update, and it's fine overall. I don't know. It's an upgrade. In some cases, it can look like a side grade. In some cases, it's still not clear, like, is a master reward better than platinum rewards? I don't know. Like, is the 2% of one single tier 6 basic that you're getting when we need 3 of these full crystals? So is that actually worth it over having extra tier 2 alphas? I mean, hey, there's also some tier 3 alpha, but this is also such an insignificant number. Like, is war worth it? That's all I could think about when I look at these rewards, man. Like, am I going to have some sort of meaningful progression by participating in Alliance Wars over players who don't participate in Alliance Wars? Is it actually worse? Because if I didn't play war, would I have more time to grind arena and pull in new champions that way? And it's such a debatable thing. It's definitely not a clear-cut answer as a yes or no whether Alliance War is worth it. And most people, I think a lot of people would just say no flat out just because they don't like war, and that's totally fair. But even as someone who just looking at it as someone who either likes war or doesn't mind war, I mean, when you compare it to the other things in game, especially lately with the Karina's challenges having really solid rewards overall, and then I don't think we can see the rewards necessarily without going through and collecting the chests, but the gauntlet here, the gauntlet had some crazy rewards to it. I mean, the gauntlet, it took some players like 2 hours to clear the entire gauntlet. And I'm not talking about like their individual run. I'm talking about like from the time the content released until it was cleared. I think it took me just in terms of like when I was actually in the content itself, I think it took me like 4 hours. It was like a 4-hour stream, I think, and then I did spend some time planning and practicing on the first fight, trying to have a good start to it. So I think in total, I probably spent about 5 to 6 hours going through this content, where some players, especially the officers that do the coordinating and planning for the highest levels, and just the time they spend being available if other players have questions, and if something comes up, if someone dies to a fight, all right, who's going to go in, who's going to back them up, things like that. They could spend that amount of time on an individual war. And when you think about it from that perspective, it's so hard to justify the amount of time that's spent. I think one of the best ways that you can justify it is just the knowledge that comes through, because that is something that you can't really get elsewhere. I think we all have the champions that we gravitate towards naturally, just our own personal biases, champions that we just have fun with. And Alliance War, it kind of strips that away. Alliance War is like, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, I'm saying this in a good way. It makes us, it forces us to look at the game more objectively. Where instead of just having like our own personal, these are the list of champions that I enjoy playing, it's like, okay, what is going to make me win or lose this war? Forget the champions that I enjoy playing. Like, who is just the best champion for getting us through this situations. And sometimes they're sticky situations, so we have to find the best champions that are going to get us through it. It's no longer a debatable thing. I mean, I guess there is some debate to it still, but the more time that goes on without changes to the Alliance War map, which is another complaint about Alliance War, is like, okay, once things are figured out, then it becomes a lot less interesting. It's mechanical at that point. Okay, this champion's best for this. Use that champion, win fight, hopefully, and collect some rewards. And the rewards for all of that effort, instead of getting some, crazy amount of rewards compared to the time, at least. Because when you look at all of these rewards as a whole, it still looks pretty good. But when you consider the 6 weeks that goes into it, and for some players, the several hours that go into each war, I mean, it's a pathetic amount of like these new catalysts here. This reminds me of the rewards that you get for doing a single day of Alliance Quest. The ones that are mailed to you, where they're like, hey, here's some crystals that you get for clearing the map. Oh, and we're also just going to throw in a bonus amount of just catalyst fragments. They're not really meant to be anything, but hey, it adds to what we can show in the mail, and it's fun to collect because hey, they add up over time. And that's what this feels like. Like 6 weeks to get 2% of one, not 2% of a rank up, 2% of one single tier 6 basic. So like the tier 5 class catalyst crystals where we were getting like a 2% crystal of those. At least we only needed one of those catalysts for a rank up. Now it's like we're gonna give you 2% of one catalyst, and you need to get 3 total catalysts. And you're gonna get that. You're gonna earn that over 6 weeks of effort, and that's only if you're in the top 20 alliances. You're not gonna get that unless you're in the top 20. Is that worth fighting for? Some people are gonna answer yes. Some people who just want to be on that bleeding edge, they're gonna answer yes. Especially as you get like to the higher ranks, like rank 1 and rank 2, I would say. Like this is a pretty decent chunk of these catalyst fragments. Even rank 3, I would say, is not a sizable amount. It's not a good amount at all. But rank 1 definitely is. Rank 2, rank 2 feels like what masters should be, just in general, like at least, but at least rank 1 feels good. But then you're taking things to an extreme level here, where let's just imagine for a moment that whoever does rank Master 1 for this next upcoming season, let's just imagine that they are not cheaters. They are totally pure. They play this game completely fairly and all that. They don't try to bribe other alliances. They don't try to pilot one another's accounts and things like that. Let's just imagine that they're completely legit. Well, even if they're legit, then they had to climb over other cheating alliances to get there. So, like, yeah, man. Is Alliance Wars actually worth it? It's no wonder why so many people answer no to that question. And it's no wonder that a lot of people rather just, play the game, just have fun in the way that they enjoy the game, which I'd say there's definitely a good amount of competitive players in MCOC, but this is not a like direct head-to-head sort of competitive game. So a lot of people don't feel the need to really push for like the top rewards, and they're fine just coasting and collecting some rewards over time from the lower brackets and stuff like that, even if they had the roster and the ability to push for masters or something like that. A lot of people answer no because they're just going to make this stuff up elsewhere. I'm really curious, like, so this reward update, we're seeing it before the 4th of July, but I'm really curious, like, when the 4th of July hits, and we see what is offered, like, we're gonna see that, I think we're gonna see that before, we are gonna see that before the even one season of these rewards goes through. So I'm really curious, like the alliance that does get the master rank 1, how are they going to feel about these rewards after seeing the July 4th? Maybe they'll be happy because maybe this is the exact number of fragments needed for them to get the first rank 4s in the game or something like that. But I imagine for most players, they're going to see these rewards and be like, oh, I wish I can get them. And then see the July 4th bundles come through and be like, oh, that's right. That's why I don't care about Alliance Wars. You know? So, I don't know, man. It's just weird, I guess. And I understand why the rewards have to be toned back for the level of effort that it takes to push in war, because the war, it's a repetitive thing. It's an ongoing thing. It's not something that is just one and done like the Gauntlet or like Karina's challenges. So, you know, from a design perspective and from a game balance perspective, I understand it. But I'm talking about just from an emotional perspective of the players looking at these rewards and imagining all of what takes to go into it. It's just not worth it, man. It really isn't. And at the same time, I want to continue playing Alliance Wars because, like I said, it is a way to gain that knowledge and at least get something for your efforts of gaining that knowledge, rather than, I mean, you could practice all day in Realm of Legends or Labyrinth or the Abyss, or, you know, story content that you've already cleared, and you'll get better at the game. You'll become more knowledgeable at the game through doing that, but you're not getting anything for it, really. Whereas at least playing War, at least you get something. Is it worth your time? Probably not, but at least you're getting something while advancing your knowledge of the game, so that's good. I don't know what Kabam can really do to fix this situation and make War more worth it. I think they might have to take the cosmetic route. Something that doesn't upset the balance of the game, something that, you know, because you can't just give out like, oh yeah, we're gonna just give out full Catalyst right away for these ranks, and now whoever gets these ranks, it just creates like an even larger gap between the rest of the player base. So of course it has to be kind of this step up system where, yeah, the upgrades are marginal between the ranks, but that also just, again, makes it feel not so worth it. So it's funny, not so worth it, yet some people are willing to risk their entire accounts getting banned, cheating to get some of the top rewards anyway, kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe for some people it's worth it all. But I feel like maybe they need to go the cosmetic route where, like, okay, yeah, these rewards, fine, in terms of balance amongst other players, but for the amount of time and effort that goes into it, there needs to be something else that isn't going to upset the player-to-player balance, but just something else as a reward, something else that you can say, like, look, man, look what I did, look what I got. I got this sweet badge in my profile. That's, for me, that's always my preferred, again, like, cosmetic type of reward of, you know, just toss something in the profile, make something shiny, make something pretty. Kabam does a very good job at making pretty things. Toss something pretty in my profile, and that'll make me more excited about Alliance Wars. But as it currently stands, you know, seeing this pathetic amount of the newest resource come through, it doesn't get me excited. You know. And again, I don't like, I mean, I'm crapping on these rewards a lot, but I don't mean to crap on them in terms of they're not good compared to previous seasons or something like that. I'm not saying that. I think compared to the last season, I think they're fine. You know, I'm excited to pop open a Nexus Crystal, whereas I didn't get that before. But I'm just saying, for the amount of time and effort that goes into it, it's still very, very difficult to justify being competitive in War. That's all. So, yeah, I don't know. For the people that clicked on this video and they were expecting to see more of a side-by-side breakdown or something like that, sorry that I didn't do that. But when looking at them side by side, I just feel indifferent. So this is the only thing I could really talk about, is my overall thoughts about War and the rewards and the effort that goes into it, and if it's actually worth it. So that's what I did. But that'll do it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.